Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we have a spooky story that will send shivers down your spine. This is the story of an old man who lived by himself on the outskirts of a small village. The villagers whispered that he was a witch, or even worse, a monster in disguise. Some say that his house was cursed and that those who entered would never return. Let's find out what happened to the curious teenagers who ventured inside the old man's house. Our story begins on a dark and eerie night. A group of curious teenagers decided to investigate the old man's house. They approached the house and saw that the lights were off and the windows were boarded up. They tried to open the door, but it was locked. Just as they were about to give up, they heard strange noises coming from inside the house. It sounded like something or someone was moving around. Suddenly, the door creaked open and the teenagers were greeted by an overwhelming, musty smell. They cautiously stepped inside, using their phones as flashlights to guide them. As they explored the old man's house, they discovered strange objects and symbols scattered throughout the room. The walls were covered with mysterious symbols and markings that they couldn't decipher. Just as they were about to leave, they heard a deep growling sound coming from the darkness. The growl grew louder and louder, and suddenly the old man appeared before them, his eyes glowing with fury. The teenagers tried to run, but the old man was too fast for them. He chased them deeper into the house, where they were never seen again. The villagers searched for the missing teenagers, but they were never found. Rumors started to spread that the old man was responsible for their disappearance and that he was a supernatural being with powers beyond anyone's imagination. Some say that his house was cursed and that those who entered would never return. As the old man chased the teenagers deeper into his house, they could hear his heavy footsteps and his angry growls. They were scared and confused, not knowing where to go. They stumbled upon a dark room, and the old man appeared from the shadows. He laughed as he threw the teenagers into a cage. The door creaked shut, and the old man disappeared into the darkness. The teenagers were left alone with nothing but the sound of their own breathing and the clanging of the old man's tools. Hours passed, and the teenagers realized they were not alone. The cage next to them was occupied by a skeleton which sent chills down their spines. The old man returned with a candle, and his face was illuminated by the flickering flame. He approached the teenagers, who were frozen in fear. He warned them that they shouldn't have entered his house and that they were going to pay the price. The teenagers begged and pleaded for mercy, but the old man was unmoved. He left the room, and the teenagers heard strange noises coming from the other side of the door. They were too scared to look, so they huddled together, praying for a way out. The old man returned, but this time he had a key in his hand. He opened the door to the cage and motioned for the teenagers to leave. They were relieved and grateful, but they knew they couldn't stay in the old man's house any longer. They ran as fast as they could, never looking back. And that concludes our spooky story. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more creepy content. Thank you.